Alright, just wanted to do a quick video on this firewood rack that I had built last year. I made two. It stacks out to be a full face cord, which is 1/3 of a full cord. I'll go over some dimensions. It's made out of red oak. I have a Wood-Mizer sawmill, so I was able to mill this from logs I had from this property. I don't think this would be best suited for softwoods, most softwoods, stuff you're gonna get like Home Depot, Lowe's. And to go out and say buy hardwood to do this might not be reasonable, but these have been really useful. If you use softwoods, something like a pressure treated southern yellow pine, spruce fir, you know, if you were to use like 2x4s pressure treated, you'd really have to reinforce them a lot more. These take some abuse, especially since they get picked up with the skid steer and just dropped right in the truck. I mean the red oak can really, especially once it dries out, I mean, these can really take some abuse without cracking, splitting, anything like that. So they are 4 feet wide, 4 feet tall, and if you stack out one row here and one row there, that's a full face cord. So if the customer stacks it out in their garage to 4 feet tall, one row, 8 feet long, there you go. This just makes it easy to get it right up to the pile to stack it out and then load it right into the truck. Had some other comments from I believe the original video of these racks about just some of the questions, comments were why not some other methods like stacking it out on a bucket then load the truck. Some saying it's a little bit too fancy, like loading it in a bucket of a tractor, say. Well, to load a face cord, even my skid steer, that's a 72-inch wide bucket. I'm still gonna have to go back and forth probably 4 times, thrown in loosely, or even if I stacked it in. If I stacked it in, it would probably take 4 times. So either I'm gonna keep the machine running or I'm gonna turn it on and off 4 times. Whereas this, I can bring it over with the machine, or I can even muscle these around, just kind of, they're pretty heavy. They're probably over 100 pounds, these racks. And then only one time start the machine, dump it in the truck, take it out. Why all that just to dump it in the truck? Well, when a customer buys a face cord, I'm pretty sure they want a face cord. They don't want a almost face cord or something like a face cord. I think it's a face cord, fly-by-night face cord. They want a face cord. And that's how you get repeat customers. A lot of these customers, they have face cord racks. So when they dump it off the truck, you dump it off, when I deliver it, dump it off the dump truck, and they have it stacked out in an hour, they're gonna see it's a face cord or maybe a little better, and they're gonna go, yeah, I got what I paid for in terms of quantity. Not overly large pieces, not what I call boiler wood, just really big pieces. They're all consistent 16-inch lengths, which is a pretty standard length, and it's dry. Obviously they want to be able to burn it. Most of these people that are buying smaller quantities, face cord and half cord, which I tend to deal with, and also these racks, I can sell a cleaner product. Yes, I can go up to the bin with my skid steer and load that out. I have grizzly bars for the multi-tech, so I can kind of get debris out. You still don't get all of it out. And people that want, well, that's just not my game. Quantity isn't my game. This whole bin's 20 cords. If I can do 20 cords or something like that in a year, I'm happy with that. It's hobby-ish to me. It's not, this isn't, you know, my, I guess it's somewhat of a business if I sell it, but it's just a thing I do in the off season. So again, and also having these resources available, be able to mill the lumber and use the lumber. But again, you could build some pretty sturdy racks out of even pallets, if you have a machine to get it up. So these things, when they're loaded, it's 1/3 of a face cord. I mean, you can go online and look up Well, how much is a full cord of dry wood weigh? Depending on different species, I mean, you could be anywhere from 3,500 to 4,500 pounds. So divide that by 3. So you're upwards of 1,500 pounds, and that's not including the rack. So if this was, say, straight oak or hickory with the rack, I could be 1,600 pounds. Gotta have a machine to be able to pick that up. So other considerations there. So most mid-range tractors wouldn't be able to pick that up. I have John Deere 3032. It's new. I might have seen it in some other videos, but it's rated for right around 1,000, 1,100 with a bucket. As soon as you start putting forks on, all that leverage out front of the bucket, it really reduces your lift capacity. So that plays into it when you're using pallet forks versus bucket. So the logs, the wood sits right on here. It's close, they're close enough where nothing's gonna fall through once you get your first row out. I wanted it as compact as possible too. I might consider making a half cord rack, which I know with my machine I can pick it up and load it, and because a lot of times that's what I'm selling, half cords. A lot of it comes down to why the racks, why not just throw it on the truck? Well, for me and the customers that I want to service and want them as repeat customers, is to give them a cleaner product. I can, if I'm hand loading it, it's a cleaner product. Any little small stuff, punky stuff, you can sift out, and it's an accurate amount. It's an accurate amount. People that are buying smaller quantities, they're going to scrutinize the wood more, and they're going to really be scrutinizing it much more than people that are going to buy 3-4 cords from the guy who's selling it for a good price. They're going to stack it up, and they're going to probably season it themselves. You know, it's where's your value? Is the value in price, or is the value in quality, service, honesty, integrity? Because a lot of what I deal with is I got burned. No pun intended. I got burned. The guy, he shorted me. He said it was seasoned. It wasn't seasoned. Just all sorts of stuff like that. He said he was coming. He didn't come. Man, the amount of business you would have repeat by just being honest. Show up when you say you're going to show up. Sell the amount that you say you're going to sell. If it's seasoned, make sure it's seasoned. Know what seasoned is. Know how dry it has to be. Not just the log was on the ground for 2 years, I split it up and calling that seasoned. Okay, maybe, but a lot of times it still needs to season a little bit more, get it to that, really around that 20% mark or lower. So, okay, there you go. Just want to get some closer shots. I know one viewer, he asked for some specs. I was actually looking back to see if I had some drawings I made from when I built them before I went into it. I didn't turn anything up. But the biggest thing is, if you want to sell a face core rack, make sure it's the right dimensions. Since it's 2 rows, so each row is 4 feet wide, 4 feet tall. Make sure it's going to be sturdy enough to be flipped over. And again, before I made these, I was just using a really good hardwood pallet, and I just framed it out. I went all the way across the top though, because it was just softwood pressure treated. This is nice because you can just, you know, there's no barrier on top here across, but for softwood you might have to go all the way across, and I had some like that, and I was still able to flip them over. Had to be a little more easy with them, but it worked. It was some scrap lumber I had, the pallet, all that was free besides maybe some nails. So it's not like you have to have a sawmill to saw red oak. And no, use what you have. I used what I have, what I had. All right, enough of the rambling. You guys, I'll catch you on the next one.